Take a look at this house behind me. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you a full tour inside this beautiful new construction home. But before we do that, I want to answer a much more important question. What is it actually like to live near Beaver Lake in Sammamish? Today, we're going to spend the day exploring all of Sammamish, not just the house. I'll show you some of my favorite spots around the city, including Beaver Lake, Pine Lake, Lake Sammamish, and downtown Sammamish. We'll talk about what day-to-day life is really like, what the commute looks like, and who I think this area is the best fit for. Then at the very end, we'll come back and see exactly what your money gets you in the Beaver Lake area of Sammamish. I was born and raised here in the Seattle area, and I help people relocate here all the time. So today I want to show you what living in Sammamish is actually like, not what you can just find on Google. All right, let's go explore Sammamish. All right, our first stop is Beaver Lake, and if I were showing someone around Sammamish for the first time, this is probably one of the stops I would bring them. One of the biggest reasons people choose to live in Sammamish is how easy it is to get outside and the access they have to the outdoors. And Beaver Lake is really a perfect example of that. You've got walking trails, you've got a swimming beach, you've got fishing, kayaking, a great playground, and plenty of open space just to get outside. And a couple of baseball diamonds right behind me. I got two boys, so this is exactly the place that I'd love to take the family for some relaxation. Saturday morning, pack some food and let the kids burn off some energy at the playground, maybe walk the trails or spend a little time on the water. It's one of those spots that makes it really easy to be outside without having to drive too far. And something I think people relocating here really appreciate is that even though you're only 20 to 30 minutes from Bellevue and Redmond, it feels much quieter out here. You trade a little bit of the hustle for more of the trees, more open space, and a slower pace of life. One thing to note, this is all about 5-10 minute walk from that house we're about to check out. So this is really easy access. This will be one of your regular go-to spots if you bought in this neighborhood or that house right over there. There's a great big open field right here, and this is just an awesome place if you want to play yard games or want the kids to run around. I don't think you can have your dogs off leash here because they have the off leash area at the playground and the baseball diamond area. So they do have a couple of off leash areas here where you can have the dogs run around here if you've got pups. So if you guys love running or jogging or just walking through the trails, this is just a beautiful spot to get out, especially during the summertime. It's pretty quiet out here. Beaver Lake is a little more tucked away, and so you're not going to have as much activity here. On the weekends in the summertime, it's probably a little different story, but right now it's pretty quiet and not too many people out here, so really peaceful place to get out and enjoy the nature. Now, Beaver Lake isn't the only lake that makes Sammamish special. Just a few minutes from here, there's another one that has a completely different feel. So let's go check that one out as well. And hey, if you're thinking about moving to the Seattle area and trying to figure out which neighborhood is the right fit, I'd be happy to help. My contact information is on the screen. You can also scan the QR code to schedule a Zoom call. All right, let's go check out one of my other favorite spots in Sammamish. All right, here we are at Pine Lake. Even though it's just a few minutes apart from Beaver Lake, it has a completely different feel over here. Beaver Lake feels a little more tucked away, while Pine Lake has more of a community gathering vibe. One of the things I like most about Pine Lake is that there's always something going on during the summertime. You'll see people swimming, paddleboarding, fishing off the dock, families enjoying the beach, and kids running around the park. It just has a little more energy while still feeling relaxed. And as a dad, one of the things I really appreciate is that the playground sits under a canopy of trees. On those hot summer days, that makes a huge difference for the kiddos because those slides get pretty hot. This is also one of the more established parts of Sammamish with well-established landscaping, neighborhoods that have a lot of character. And if you're someone who enjoys getting outside but still wants to feel connected to the community, I think this area does a really nice balance of, both of those. One thing I've noticed with buyers relocating here is that they assume that Sammamish is just one big neighborhood, but once you spend a little time here, you realize each area has its own character, its own personality. And so Beaver Lake has one feel, Pine Lake has another, and that's one of the reasons why I always encourage people to get out and explore before deciding where they want to live. Now that we've seen two of Sammamish's most popular lakes, but there's one more that people from all over the Eastside come to enjoy, let's go check out Lake Sammamish. Also, one thing to keep in mind if you're comparing Beaver Lake to Pine Lake, there's definitely way more swimming area. They have the dock that wraps around that you saw in the video there, and they have a lot more sandy beach than Beaver Lake. Beaver Lake is more like get out on the lake and enjoy it. But if kids are trying to jump into the water, swim around off the dock and everything, or play in the sand, it's a much better place for that. But also Lake Sammamish, you can't beat that one. All right, now we're gonna head over to Lake Sammamish now. They've got a bunch of parks all around Lake Sammamish, but we're gonna check out one of the ones that kind of is the closest to the downtown area of Lake Sammamish. Lake Sammamish State Park is technically in Issaquah. It's on the south end of the lake, but it's just a little bit off of East Lake Sammamish Parkway, one of the main roads that goes right along the side of the lake. You've got a ton of lakefront properties there, and ton of view properties. But we're just gonna check out one of the ones here, and then we'll go hit up downtown. All right, here we are at Lake Sammamish. This is Sammamish Landing Park. It's one of the smaller parks here in the Sammamish area off of Lake Sammamish, and does surprise a lot of people that aren't from this area. So a lot of people picture Sammamish as just quiet neighborhoods, parks and trails, but just a short drive away, you'll have one of the largest lakes in the Seattle area, and a place where people spend their summers boating, paddleboarding, kayaking, swimming, or just relaxing on the beach. Another feature I really like is the walking and biking trails that run along the east side of Lake Sammamish. It's a great place to get outside for a walk, for a bike ride, or just enjoy the scenery. It's another example of how easy it is to stay active when you live in Sammamish. One of the things I really like about living in this area is the variety. Earlier, we were at Beaver Lake, enjoying the quieter side of Sammamish. Then we stopped by Pine Lake with its community feel. And now we're here at Lake Sammamish, where you have a much bigger waterfront with even more to do. And of course, this has, motorized boats as well, which, Pine Lake and Beaver Lake are a little bit more of the quieter boats with, only electric motors. So if you're someone who enjoys being outside, it's hard to run out of options here. Whether you're taking the boat out for the day, meeting friends at the beach, hopping on the trail for a bike ride, or simply coming down here for an evening walk, having a place like this just a few minutes away is a huge perk of living in Sammamish. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of people relocating here don't realize how connected everything is. Within just about 10 or 15 minutes, you can go from quiet neighborhood streets to lakes like this right behind me. And that's part of what makes Sammamish such a unique place to live. Since I just changed my mind, we're gonna go check out Lake Sammamish State Park, because what's a tour of Lake Sammamish without seeing the state park? Let's go do that first before the downtown area. All right. All right, if you're looking for one of the best places to spend a summer day on the east side, it's hard to beat Lake Sammamish State Park. This is a 500+ acre state park right at the southern end of Lake Sammamish, with 2 sandy beaches, tons of open grass space for picnics, volleyball courts, walking and biking trails, and even kayak, paddleboard, and pedal boat rentals during the summer. It's also a great spot for families with a couple of awesome playgrounds, and because it's only a few minutes from downtown Issaquah, it's incredibly easy to get to. Whether you're spending the whole day on the water or just coming down for a sunset walk, this is definitely one of my favorite parks here on the east side. Now that we've checked out some of the outdoor recreation here in Sammamish, let's head into the downtown area and talk about what life actually looks like. One thing I hear from people relocating here is that they're worried that Sammamish is gonna feel a little too quiet, or that they're gonna have to drive everywhere. While it's definitely not an urban downtown like Bellevue or Seattle, of course, but you'll find all your day-to-day needs pretty close by. You've got grocery stores like Met Market, Safeway, QFC, plenty of restaurants and coffee shops. You got a YMCA, the library, City Hall, and a growing number of local businesses. So, it is a quieter urban setting, but you've got most of your options to knock out your day-to-day errands. A couple of my personal favorites are
Pagliacci Pizza if you're craving a good slice. They sell slices there too. And Sammamish Cafe is one of my favorite spots on the east side to get breakfast or brunch. Those are a couple of the spots that my family and I find ourselves coming back to all the time. One thing to keep in mind though is that if you're planning a Costco run or Target, you're likely going to be driving over to Issaquah or Redmond. You know, both of them are about a 10 to 15 minute drive depending on where you live in Sammamish. So it's really not that big of a deal, but it's something you'll probably find yourself doing every now and then. I also think that downtown Sammamish has come a long way over the last several years. There's been quite a bit of investment here, and it continues to evolve as the community continues to grow. But it still maintains that relaxed suburban feel, and it's becoming more convenient every single year. So if you're expecting a bustling nightlife, Sammamish is not going to be the right fit for you. But if you're looking for a community where you've got access to your everyday essentials, but still got access to parks, you're surrounded by parks and lakes and open space, I think it strikes a really, really nice balance. So now that you've seen what Sammamish looks like, let's talk about one of the biggest questions people ask before making a move: the commute.
One of the biggest trade-offs with living in Sammamish is that while you get more space, more parks, and a quieter lifestyle, your commute is usually a little bit longer than if you lived in Bellevue or Redmond. The good news is Sammamish is still really convenient for many Eastside commuters. Depending on where you live and traffic conditions, you're generally about 20 to 30 minutes from Bellevue, Redmond, and major employers like Microsoft. If you're commuting into downtown Seattle, you'll want to expect a longer drive, especially during peak traffic. Sometimes it could take you anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. One thing I always encourage buyers to think about is how often they're actually going into the office. If you're working from home most of the time and maybe you're only commuting a couple days a week, many people find that extra drive time is well worth everything Sammamish has to offer. On the other hand, if you're driving into Seattle every single day during the week, that's a trade-off you'll want to consider carefully. For me, Sammamish is really about balance. You get highly regarded schools, incredible parks and lakes, plenty of outdoor recreation, and a peaceful suburban feel, while still being within a reasonable drive of many of Eastside's largest employers. Okay, another reason Sammamish gets so much attention from people relocating here is the schools. The schools are, they're primarily served by Lake Washington School District and Issaquah School District, depending on where you live in the city. Many buyers use resources like greatschools.org or niche.com. There's other great resources online, and several of the schools serving this part of Sammamish receive really, really high ratings. For example, Discovery Elementary is rated 9 out of 10. Beaver Lake Middle School is 9 out of 10. And Eastlake and Skyline High School are both rated 10 out of 10. So on greatschools.org. One thing that's kind of unique about this area is Skyline High School and Eastlake High School are practically neighbors on 228th Ave. Which high school a home is assigned to just depends on attendance boundaries. So I always recommend verifying the assigned schools before considering a home if you have a preference on which school you want your kids to attend. Both Skyline and Eastlake have a really strong reputation for academics, and they also have a variety of athletics, clubs, music, extracurricular activities. So whether your kid's interested in sports, the arts, or advanced coursework, there's tons of opportunities available. But after spending some time here, they realized that it's really the combination of the schools, the parks, the lakes, the outdoor recreation, and the overall sense of community that makes this city so special. So even if schools aren't a deciding factor for you, they can still influence buyer demand and long-term resale value. So they're worth considering as part of your home search. If schools are an important part of your move, I'd be happy to help you understand which home falls in which attendance areas as you're narrowing down your options. Hey, and real quick, if you're planning a move and you're trying to narrow down neighborhoods, schools, or even specific homes, that's exactly what I help people with all the time. My contact information is here on the screen. and you can scan the QR code and we can hop on a Zoom together and kind of map everything out. All right, we've spent the day exploring what life in Sammamish is really like. Now let's head back to where we started and finally take a look inside that beautiful new construction home near Beaver Lake. All right, before we head inside, let's talk about home prices, because that's probably one of the biggest questions people have when they're considering the Sammamish area. There's no question that Sammamish is one of the more expensive communities in the Seattle area. And a big reason for that is everything we've talked about today. The schools, the parks, the outdoor recreation, and the overall quality of life. To give you an idea though, a median sales price for a single family home in Sammamish is currently around 1.6 million. The good news is there are more affordable options if you're not looking for a single family home. You'll find condos and townhomes throughout Sammamish that range from the 500 to 900,000 range, making them a great entry point into the community. If you're shopping in the new construction market, you're typically looking at a higher price point, but in return, you're gonna get modern floor plans, updated finishes, better energy efficiency, and generally less maintenance compared to many older homes. The home we're about to walk through right now is a great example of what new construction near Beaver Lake can look like. Whether it's within your budget or not, it'll give you a good feel for what's available in this part of Sammamish and what buyers are getting at this price point. All right, enough talking about it. Let's head inside and take a look at the house. All right, we've made it back to where we started after spending the day exploring Beaver Lake, Pine Lake, Lake Sammamish, downtown Sammamish, and the schools, and talking about the commute. Let's finally take a look inside this beautiful new construction home here at the Grove at Beaver Lake. This is lot 1, featuring 4,273 square feet of living space tucked away on a private lot off the road. One of the things I immediately noticed is how peaceful the setting feels. You're surrounded by mature trees, giving you that classic Pacific Northwest privacy, yet you're only minutes away from Beaver Lake Park and minutes from shopping, restaurants, and easy access to I-90 and 520. As soon as you walk through the front door, you're welcomed by this impressive great room with oversized windows that bring in tons of natural light while framing the private backyard. It really creates that seamless connection between the indoors and outdoors. If you enjoy cooking or entertaining, this kitchen is definitely one of the highlights. One more feature I think a lot of people might overlook, but I've got a couple young kids, so this is something I really appreciate. Right over here on the other side of the living room, you've got 2 big windows that look into the side yard. Most of this house has side yard. The backyard's pretty much just a patio and then a walkway that goes out on the side. But this is great if you've got young kids. You can keep an eye on the kids while they're out in the backyard, and it just really, really helps you not have to pop your head outside every time you want to see what they're doing, making sure they're not getting in any trouble. You've got quartz countertops, huntwood soft close cabinetry, and pull-out shelves, a massive 66-inch refrigerator, induction cooktop with double ovens, a wall-mounted microwave, a butler's pantry, beverage fridge, and just an incredible amount of storage and prep space. Whether you're hosting the holidays or just making dinner on a weeknight, this kitchen was clearly designed to handle both. Just off the kitchen, you'll also find a dedicated dining room for more formal gatherings, along with a private office or den, which is ideal if you work from home. One feature I really like is this oversized double sliding door that opens onto the covered patio, complete with a built-in heater. Out back, you've got a beautifully landscaped yard with plenty of room for kids, pets, or simply relaxing outside year-round, even during our cooler Washington evenings. And one of the first things I noticed in this backyard is how peaceful it is. You're backed up against a green belt right here, and so you don't have to worry about any future development, someone buying up that land and building a big giant community right behind you. You've got peace and quiet for years, and it's just really quiet here despite being really close to all the major amenities Sammamish has to offer. Heading upstairs, the primary suite really feels like a retreat. The spa-inspired bathroom features heated tile floors, an oversized soaking tub, a massive glass walk-in shower, and beautiful tile work throughout. The walk-in closet is also connected directly to the laundry room, which is one of those thoughtful features you don't realize you need until you have it. The second floor also offers 3 additional bedrooms along with a loft that could work as a media room, playroom, homework space, or second living area depending on your needs. And because this is new construction, you're also getting a lot of the modern conveniences buyers are looking for today, including air conditioning with a heat pump, an EV charger, and a spacious 3-car garage. Of course, one of the biggest selling points isn't just the home itself, it's the location. You're in the highly rated Issaquah School District, surrounded by parks and trails, close to everyday shopping, and still within a reasonable commute to Bellevue, Redmond, and Seattle. Overall, I think this home does a fantastic job showcasing what new construction living in the Beaver Lake area has to offer. More importantly, I hope today's tour gave you a better feel of what life in Sammamish is really like. Not just the homes, but the community, the parks, the schools, and the lifestyle that keeps so many people wanting to call this area home. If you'd like more information about this home, have questions about Sammamish, or you're thinking about making a move to the Seattle area, my contact information is on the screen. I'd be happy to help however I can. So what is it actually like living near Beaver Lake in Sammamish? Hopefully after spending the day with me, you have a much better idea. We've explored Beaver Lake, Pine Lake, Lake Sammamish, downtown Sammamish. We talked about the schools, the commute, and now you've seen what a beautiful new construction home in the area has to offer. Like any community, Sammamish isn't the perfect fit for everyone. If you're looking for a busy environment with nightlife and everything within walking distance, there's definitely better options. But if you're looking for highly regarded schools, incredible outdoor recreation, beautiful parks and lakes, and a quieter place to call home while still being within commuting distance to Bellevue and Redmond, it's really easy to see why so many people choose to live here. If you're thinking about making a move to Seattle, or you need some help figuring out which neighborhood is going to be the best fit for you, I'd love to help. My contact information is here on the screen, or you can scan the QR code to schedule a call. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I make new videos every week about living in Seattle and the Eastside to help you make an informed decision before you move. Thanks so much for watching, and I am looking forward to seeing you on the next one.